Hey, so you're thinking about going on a cruise and you'd like to get some ideas in regard to tips and tricks and just really how to maximize things, you've come to the right place.
We've got some serious tips and tricks to help you have the best cruise of your life. So stay tuned, because here it comes.
In fact, we got 8 tips and tricks that you're not gonna wanna miss.
Yep, so stick around.
So number 1, are there drink packages and are they worth it?
Oh yeah, that's a really good one.
Some learning lessons on this one.
Yep, so first and foremost, each drink package builds upon itself. So the bare bones minimum that comes with your cruise that you don't have to pay additional for is coffees, teas, juices, and tap water, okay? Now the tap water is okay for you to drink. So those 4 things come with your cruise and you don't have to pay extra for them. I had to do all kinds of research to find that out.
Well, let me speak to that, because my love, if you're newer to the channel, she sucks down coffee like it's put an IV in her like all day long.
Yes.
So she was really worried about going 8 days on a cruise and not having coffee.
Okay, now let me caveat this with, like, there's specialty coffee shops on board, like Starbucks and other little cafes. That does not include any of the specialty drinks. Nothing from Starbucks is included in that coffee. Okay, those are all in addition to drip coffee, all drip coffee.
So like the cafe on level 8 and Windjammer, you can get all that coffee free
in the dining
with the
room, the coffees, creamers, sugars, all the good stuff.
In fact, another little added note on the coffee for you coffee aficionados: if you don't want cream or heavy cream or half and half, you're trying to cut dairy. We had a good friend of ours that wanted almond milk or coconut milk for her coffee. And they had that as well in the Windjammer.
That is a great name.
Yeah, so that is a very good information to have. You're so smart. Okay, second or very first drink package that you could pay for is going to be your soda package. Okay, so that basically includes the bare bones minimum, the coffees, the teas, the juices, the water, and all your soda. That's an additional fee, a small fee. But again, all of these fees are per day, per person.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it says it's $10, it's $10 per day, per person.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you have to interject.
We're coming in hot out of Tony Robbins' Life Mastery.
Okay.
Which is all about health and wellness.
Yeah. Where are you going with this?
Well, and my mom was a health nut growing up, so like sodas was absolutely not allowed at all.
This is not the time to talk to them about their health.
I know, but it could be.
They like soda. Let them drink it. They're on vacation.
That's funny.
Next package is the refreshment package. Okay, so that includes all your coffee, tea, juices, tap water, soda, and non-alcoholic beverages. Oh, and milkshakes.
Oh yeah.
At Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets.
Okay, all
right.
We
nailed that the first day.
Oh yeah, chocolate milkshake.
Oh yeah.
That also does not help you with your waistline.
No, it doesn't.
No. Okay, so then the final drink package is going to be your alcohol package, which is a lot.
It's a lot of alcohol.
And it's per person. So I'm just saying.
It's a lot of money too.
A lot of money, yeah.
I think we calculated it, babe. And it's an 8-day cruise. Yep. And it was something like $80 or $85 a day per person, per day. And it was darn near $1,300 for the cruise.
Alcohol.
Just alcohol.
For drinks.
Now, some of you may go, oh, totally worth it. For us, we're not big drinkers. We may have a glass of wine at dinner or a cold beer with a burger or pizza. I get it. That tastes good. But like drinking alcohol all day, I mean, I don't know. It just...
I don't know.
It wipes me out. I don't feel good.
I like to spend time at the pool, so if a pool boy wants to bring me drinks at the pool, I'm cool with that.
Okay, while I'm doing the 3-on-3 tournament and winning the thing.
Hey, look who I ran into, guys. Huh? Josiah. Here's the key. If you're gonna do sports on the boat, empty nesters, get a young buck like a Josiah on your team.
No, we need experience like you had.
Experience and young buck, man. We cleaned up, didn't we, brother?
2 times.
That's how you do it. 3-on-3 champions twice.
Undefeated.
That's right.
Yeah, so that I can wear the medal to dinner.
That's right. You can wear my winner's medal.
So very expensive alcohol package. May or may not be worth it depending on how much you plan on drinking. But if you still want to have alcohol, but you don't want to drink 16 glasses a day per person, you still have the option of just buying per drink and adding it to your cabin tab.
I mean, if they're $12 and you have 5, that's what, $60? You're still $25 better.
You know, I was counting on every penny to...
Okay, so keep in mind, if there's one person in your cabin that wants to drink
this is
alcohol and then one person that doesn't want to drink alcohol, the cruises typically make each person that's staying in the same room have the same drink package, because otherwise you guys could share, and they don't approve of that.
Can't game the system.
Right. However, there are exceptions to the rule, like if maybe one of you is like a recovering alcoholic and is absolutely not going to be drinking, but the other one wants to be drinking, although I don't recommend that. That's not very nice.
I was going to say, I'm like, wow, that's a little rough.
But I mean, there are circumstances
But, hey,
where that would, apply.
Sure.
And in that case, you can actually call the cruise line and explain your circumstances, and they will make exceptions for you so that only one person in your cabin has to pay for the drink package.
No more money.
Under normal circumstances,
2 in a room, 2 alcohol packages.
2
It's
over
a must.
the age of 21, 2 people have to pay.
Yeah, we didn't do it. So we dropped down to the middle one, which was the refreshment package, because it had the coffees and all that, right? But then when we got on the cruise, because we thought there was no juices included, no coffees included, we thought it was just water. And then they were doing a water package.
Oh yeah, there's a water package that you
Evian
can
or whatever,
purchase
bottled water.
That's like a whole separate thing that you can buy 12 to 24 1-liter bottles of water if you don't want to drink the ship's water.
So we were all, because our travel planner was saying, oh, you don't want to drink the ship water. And I'm like, okay, all right. So we bought the middle package, and it was still $600 and something dollars.
It's still a lot.
Again, that's a lot of money for drinks. What happened to the good old days of cruising when everything was
so
included?
when we got on the ship, that's when we found out that coffee's included, juices included, waters included, teas included. I'm like, why did we pay for the refreshment package again?
Yeah, let's get our $680 back.
We canceled.
No more money!
So we canceled it and just, had all the juices and all that stuff at the Windjammer in the cafe and all that.
This takes us to tip number 2, babe. Do you want to tell them about tip number 2?
Here's another little hacker tip for you. We went on Royal Caribbean. I think most cruises allow this. You can bring on, we'll just talk about Royal Caribbean, at least 1 bottle per passenger, 1 bottle of wine, not hard alcohol. It has to be
hard
wine.
alcohol, just wine.
Right? We went, wow, okay. At dinner, you get a steak or something, nice red wine or whatever, fish, white wine. So we each brought a bottle of wine.
Yes, we did.
And here's another little tip. Don't pack it in your checked luggage that you turn into the cruise staff, and then it'll show up at your cabin door later. Don't do that, because if they find alcohol or fluid in there, they don't deliver it to your cabin door. It gets put over to security and held. So then you got to go find security and get your thing.
It's a whole big thing.
So put your bottle of wine in your carry-on and carry it onto the ship with you. That way you could go have your bottle of wine as kind of, your bon voyage, and wave everybody on the shore and have your glass of wine, and you could do that.
Yeah.
Or you could just save it.
You
could just save it. Yeah, I mean, that was a dumb idea.
And I don't listen to him.
You could save it. Tip number 3. Can I stay connected with friends and family while on a cruise, even if I don't pay for the Wi-Fi package?
Go to sleep. I'll take this. So the ship offers you free Wi-Fi on the ship. Okay, so it's ship Wi-Fi, like it was Royal Caribbean Wi-Fi, but only if you download the Royal Caribbean app. So once you've downloaded the app, then you can connect, like if you have a whole big thing. We went with a huge group of people and we all wanted to stay connected on the ship. So we all downloaded the app, get everybody connected through the ship's messaging center, and then you can text each other through the app the entire time while you're on the ship. So you'll never lose each other. You can always say, where are you? Hey, okay, meet me over here, yada, yada, yada. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free.
I want to clarify, the ship's Wi-Fi is not free. It's only free if you're utilizing the app. That's the only thing.
Yes.
If you're going to surf, on Google or whatever, you're going to get charged. Like it won't work. You'll have to pay.
Yeah.
And it's pretty pricey, and it's a little sketchy. Like it's not that great connectivity. So just keep that in mind. I just said, you know what? I'm going to be disconnected for 8 days other than the Wi-Fi and the app. app and direct messaging our people.
Yes.
Here's the other thing. As you meet people on the cruise, it's a great way to be able to connect with them too. Say, hey, do you have the Royal Caribbean app? And you can add a message, and just the guy I picked up on my 3-on-3 basketball team,
that's true.
I connected with him. I go, hey, we got another match today. Are you going to be there? And he's like, oh, I'm finishing breakfast. I'll meet you there. You know? So it was really cool.
Yep. So here's another tip. If you like need to stay connected to your business or whatever, but you don't necessarily have to check in every single day, maybe just pay for the Wi-Fi per day. I think it was $29.99 per day. Okay, and that's per device. So pick the device that you want to use and then just stick with it. So that's what I did. So I was like, okay, I'm going to check in twice. So the day that we left, I still had Wi-Fi while we were leaving, so I could check in that day.
At the port.
Right? Yeah. So I checked in real quick before we left. Then I waited a day, and then I paid for Wi-Fi the next day. If you sign up for it like at 10 o'clock in the morning on one day, it's good for 24 hours. Okay, so technically you can check in for 2 days at work. So starting at 10 o'clock one day all the way through 10 a.m. the next day.
Genius!
If you plan it right, you could really game the system. And then you only have to pay for like 2 days of Wi-Fi, which is only like $30 times 2, so $60. And you technically are able to check in for 4 days of your trip.
And we left on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You work a Monday through Friday job.
Yeah.
And so you're like, I'm paying for it at 10 a.m. on Monday, and you got all the way through, 9:59 on Tuesday.
So that's Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Skip Wednesday and then pay for Thursday starting at 10 a.m. And then that got me Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, and then you had the weekend.
Yep.
The other thing I want to point out regarding cell phone coverage, and you want to check with your carrier because there are two different things. When you go internationally and you land at a port, say Nassau, Bahamas, and you turn your phone on, off of airplane mode and all that stuff, it's going to start doing that international roaming. It'll prompt you, do you want to do the international package? It's so much a day, which is different than when you get on the cruise and the cruise goes out at sea. There's a whole different connectivity in regards to being out at sea because there's not as many cell towers, it's more satellite.
More money?
Anyway, check with your carrier and just know there's a difference between being on land at port and being out at sea, and you could get charged twice for the two different things.
That's a good point.
Look into that, and every carrier is a little different on how they have it.
So tip number 4 is, how do I get from the airport to the cruise port? Or vice versa, how do I get from the cruise back to the airport? So you have multiple options. So you can take a taxi, you can take an Uber, you can take a Lyft, but what I want to recommend to you, that's the most important thing, is making sure that you order your taxi or your Uber or your Lyft far in advance, because it gets really busy during cruise times. And unfortunately, Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, they kind of have a tendency they'll take your ride and then they'll cancel your ride.
Yeah.
And then you have to order a new one, and then they'll take your ride. And then if it's too busy, they'll cancel your ride. So you want to be real careful to make sure you order it well in advance, a couple of hours in advance.
And even if you order it, it doesn't mean they're going to keep it. Because there were people in the hotel lobby that were like, yeah, we ordered it 3 hours ago, and we've had this, we're now on our 4th driver. So, I mean, it's an issue. We were out of Galveston, so I don't know if that's special to there. So be prepared to start the process early.
When we were leaving our cruise and going back to the airport.
Going back, yeah.
Right? So it's a very compact area where those cruise ports are. It's very congested. And so you might have an easier time getting an Uber or Lyft driver to come and pick you up if you're willing to walk out of that congested area and meet them on a side street someplace.
One of the things you might want to consider doing when you get off the boat is it gets to be an absolute zoo trying to get a Lyft or an Uber or a taxi down there, just a sea of people. So a lot of Lyft drivers and Uber drivers were canceling their rides. One guy had stood there 30 minutes trying to get it connected to a driver. So when you get a driver, right away, reach out in the contact button and send them a little text message. Hey, excited to, see you, or, see you soon, or something like that, and get engagement. It's less likely for them to cancel. The other thing we're doing is we're gonna walk a little bit. Our luggage rolls really good, so it's not a big deal. And we're gonna get out of the sea of people because I think a lot of these Uber drivers, they don't want to fight with all the traffic getting in here. So we're just gonna go and exit the terminal, make it easier for him to pick us up.
I feel like we got our driver right away and we were in and out of there so
And he
fast.
didn't cancel, yeah.
And he didn't cancel
So
because
here-
he didn't have to deal with all of that traffic. It added another 40 minutes of drive time for him that
Yeah.
we cut out.
All right, guys, our plan worked. The driver really appreciated that we met him out there. He said sometimes it takes 30 minutes once you go in that cruise terminal as a driver to get out of there. And so a lot of them don't want to do that. They'd rather have the quick pickup, quick delivery, make the money. So he was very thankful that we hoofed it out to the corner there.
So here's number 5, kind of parlays into what I was going to say earlier is, hey, can I check into the cruise early? Now, here's the deal about cruising. Whether you get on at 11 a.m. or you get on at 4 p.m. and they leave at 4:30, that 11 to 4, that 5 hours, you've already paid for it. Like people are on there, they're eating at the Windjammer, they're drinking, they're having fun, they're in the pool, they're doing the slides before it gets all busy.
That you have paid for.
Yeah. So remember ahead of time, not the day of, but like ahead of time, put in to get in as early a time as you can so you can get on the boat and start enjoying it right away. Now, we got one at 1 o'clock. Our friend got one at 2 or 1:30, right in there.
2 o'clock, yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're texting and all this stuff. She goes, oh, I'm already on the boat. And it was 11.
She got on at like 10 a.m.
After all, the early bird gets the worm.
She went on early. Now, the cruise says, don't do this, don't go on early. So we're not telling you to go on early, but
Yeah, we're not saying that.
She got on early, right? You know, something to consider. Now, if they turn you away, you're going to be standing around or sitting around there waiting. But she goes, yeah, I got on, no issues. They didn't even ask. Like it was good. It was fine. So there you go. You might try. If you get your Uber without them canceling and you go right away, you're good to go. That leads us to number 6. Can I book spa services and should I do these in advance? What would you say, babe?
I would say yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
Absolutely.
And do they do colonic? Oh no, that's a whole nother video.
That's another video. It's a special video.
That's a different spa service.
But they'll probably recommend it
That
to
probably
you.
would be a good idea because they say people gain at least a pound a
true.
day on a cruise.
Gosh, they should do that. Actually.
It's a separate thing. But yes, you should book spa services. You absolutely can. They're a lot of times cheaper and they do specials.
Yep.
And this is true for all the things, all the services, whether it be drink packages, upgraded dining things, excursions. If you're on the website ahead of time, sometimes they'll do flash sales and you can get some good deals on those sort of things.
Yeah.
Like BOGO, buy one, get one for upgraded dining.
Oh,
that was on there and all that stuff.
I mean, I wish that we would have, done the drink package that we had done like way before because we actually did it like the day before the cruise and it was like way more expensive. So as you get closer to the cruises, all of these things, whether it's the drink packages or the excursions or the spa packages, they ratchet up in price as you get closer and closer to the cruise.
More money.
And then they shut it down. So there's a point like the day before or within 24 hours, you're like, okay, I'm going on the app and buying it. And it's like, sorry, you got to do it when you're on the ship. And the prices go boop.
Yes, they do.
All right, that leads us to number 7. Is the water safe on the ship and can I drink it?
Yeah.
Right? We learned that. We
Don't
drink
need
it
to- I mean,
every single day.
Yes, I brought my hydro flask with me, and at the Windjammer and like all different spots like on the ship, there's ice machines, there's water machines.
We even brought liquid IV. Now
There you
those
go.
other hydration packages.
There
Did
you
I
go.
get it
Yes,
right?
you got it, yeah. And he thought of that because he knew that he was going to be playing basketball and pickleball and all the things,
All the
and he
stuff.
wanted to stay hydrated. So really, really a good idea.
Well, and that Caribbean sun, it's hot.
It wipes you.
Yeah, and can be humid, like all sorts of stuff. And so you're just getting sucked dry. So you want to have a lot of hydration and that helps.
I took my hydro flask with me to the pool every day with my yummy liquid IV flavor and filled it with ice and water and everything. So then I felt like I had this like fancy drink that I was drinking at the pool instead of like having to have the drink package.
All right, so that brings us to number 8. And babe, this is all
number
about food.
Oh,
so
I
a
like
couple
food.
different things. We'll kind of split it up. One is you have the standard dining, you got anytime dining or scheduled dining.
Okay.
And then you have upgraded,
like specialty restaurants.
specialty restaurants,
Okay.
which is an additional charge.
Yeah, you pay for those.
Your dining room stuff, the cafe, the Windjammer, all that stuff, the Sorrentos, the pizza, all that's included
Yes.
in your fare for being on the cruise.
Yes.
Here's what I would say, because I've done a little bit more cruising than you, right? And I remember back in the days, and maybe I was younger and a kid and didn't have as defining of a palate as I do now. I like all food. But anyway, I remember the food being a lot better quality in the dining room. Like it was a pretty special kind of thing. I would say on this latest cruise, the dining room food, it was okay. It was hit or miss, in my opinion. Do you disagree?
I would agree.
Now, I come with some expertise in this because I have a ferocious appetite. Like people are amazed at how much I eat. I'll literally order 3 to 4 appetizers, 2 or 3 of the mid-course, and then like 4 mains.
It's embarrassing.
I'm serious. People are like, what?
We sit at a table for 8, just the 2 of us, and he takes up the whole table.
And it feels like that, I'm
It's
sure.
close.
But anyway, so I got to try all the different stuff, and I can say it was hit or miss.
Yes.
Some of it was like, well, that's not very good. So it's like, oh, that's pretty good. Now, the specialty dining, we did do that a couple times, and that was on a whole nother level. So if you're a foodie, definitely go on ahead of time and do the specialty dining package and treat yourself and so on.
Yes.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, there is a specialty dining package that you can purchase. Or if you don't purchase that, you can still do the specialty dining and just get a reservation and go there and just do like a one-off.
And put it on your room.
Yeah, just put it on your room.
Now, we had an interesting thing. We had a group of 16 celebrating our friend's 60th birthday.
This was amazing.
And the first night, the service was very slow, took forever, not even filling waters. It was like they hadn't been trained or something. I don't know, something was off. So here's the deal. The first night, everybody, all 16 of us were at the dining, 2 tables, and it was slow service. It was almost like they hadn't been properly trained. The food wasn't that great, took a long time, just wasn't that great. And we had some people that were pretty defined, you know, like
big foodies.
Yeah.
Big
and
foodies.
they were like, big no. And they're like, yeah, we probably won't come back. We're just going to do the specialty dining. Well, keep in mind that there is a floor manager, and then there's the head waiter, and then there's the helper, the food runner, and the busser, and all that.
Yeah.
Well, the manager of the floor, keep in mind, they all get rated at the end of the cruise. You have to do a survey.
Really big on surveys.
Big on surveys,
Really big.
right? 1 through 10 and and why did you score at a low mark and how could we do better and all this stuff.
It doesn't bode well for them if they get low marks.
Yeah, like it
at all.
So he was on us like white on rice or like a duck on a June bug. I mean, he was like, how come your people aren't coming? Because then
like
the whole table was
yeah.
empty. And then it was like
was
6
bad.
of us around the 8 top and that was it. And he's like, where are they coming back? I go, I don't know if they're coming back. He's like, what can I do to get them back?
Yeah.
So one night, this 6 of us that showed up got steak and lobster on the house, which is an extra charge.
That's an extra charge.
We got like 3 or 4 bottles of wine. I'm like, hey, let me see what I can do to talk to them to come back or whatever. But, you know, seriously, I wasn't trying to work it. I'm like, I don't know that they're coming back, man.
Yeah.
So he tracked them down in their rooms.
This is so impressive.
He called them in their suite because they did get a suite and all this stuff. And he's like, hey, would you come back? And they're like, hey, we love you. You're great. Like, we're impressed in your service now. We're not coming back though. So then he offered a behind the scenes galley tour, which is like an extra charge or whatever.
It's like
and
an
it's
excursion.
invite only.
Yeah, like an on-ship excursion.
Yeah. And so it was like he was worth it.
It's pretty cool. We're learning all the ins and outs, all the inside stuff, all the secrets in the kitchen, what they're doing. Pretty fun tour so far.
So the point in all this is, if you're getting bad service or the food is not good, a lot of times people say, yeah, it's fine. I don't want to cause a ruckus. I don't want to be that, squeaky wheel, right?
Cause a ruckus. Do it.
I don't know about cause a ruckus, but bring it up to the floor manager. Go, hey, this is like a really big deal to my wife and I. This is our first cruise, second cruise, whatever. It's our anniversary. It's our birthday. It's just not, we wanted to communicate to you that this is just not.
Because they will do what they can, whatever they can to make it right.
You don't want to work it like it's dishonest, but like, like honestly, if you want to tell them. Is there anything else that you want? Is there a bonus, babe, that you can think of?
No, I can't think of any bonus ones right now. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we got all kinds of good, that's like 8 really good things.
I got a little bonus.
I don't know about this.
And we didn't get a chance to do this, but I wanted to do it.
I'm scared.
So there is a helicopter pad front of the boat. That is a phenomenal place to take when you disembark or when you leave, wherever your port is, that's a great place to take selfies and photos and so on, because you get the ship behind you, get
Are
the other
you
stuff.
allowed to like go
You
out
are
there?
allowed
Really?
during a certain time when you leave the first day of the ship taking off.
That's
And
cool.
you kind of gotta, I think you gotta schedule it or something, but it's free and all that stuff. So there you go. There's your
There
little
you go.
bonus tip for sticking
Bonus
around.
tip. Yay!
So, Empty
Thank
Nester
you so much
Diaries.
for sticking around. Oh my gosh, that was a lot.
Yeah, but I think it was pretty helpful.
I think
in
it
some
was
of the
very
stuff we
good
shared.
stuff. So
tune in. We got other videos hitting, other
Yep.
cruise videos, other travel videos. Like,
Yep.
subscribe, tell your friends. We love the support and comment.
and yeah,
we
and if you
interact
have
with
more
our viewers.
questions, because this is not everything, but if you think of something that you want information on, let us know.
And some of you may have some tips and tricks that we missed, and we'd love to know those
I'm
too. So
sure
put them
you
in the
do.
comments, right? All right, you guys, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.